Oh, my name's Edward Titcomb. I'm the editor in chief here. Um, and I will do whatever I can, whatever I can. Will give you whatever assistance I.
Well,
I'm
that would
sure
be
you're
much appreciated.
I'm sure you're familiar with the story that we are referencing then.
Absolutely, I didn't think so much would come of it.
Oh, the public always loves a good spaceman story.
Apparently,
Well, we were actually interested in speaking with the person that interviewed the people in the article, and I did hear that that was. Oh, I look over to the nun to remind me of the name.
Miss Caldwell.
Yes, Miss Caldwell. If we could speak with Miss Caldwell and get more information, maybe some details from her, that would be very helpful.
yeah, I think we can arrange that. I'll give you her address, and he starts writing on a piece of paper. Most of the stuff made the article. Her, you may want to talk to Elsie about what her personal notes might say. I don't think there was much that didn't.
I know the article referenced a great deal of some reports from local citizens about the strange lights. Were those based off official police reports or just general locals?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you get any of that?
No, I was reading something.
No problem. So I know that the article referenced reports of the strange sightings, the lights. Was that based off any actual police reports or just general local?
I believe that Elsie did have a source in the police station. And there was a couple sources that were local.
Does anyone have any photographs of this? Of these lights? Has anyone caught anything on film?
Not that I'm aware of, ma'am.
Well, that'll be right up your alley, Melissa.
I
I'm
start
so
rehearsing my speech in my mind.
and I am so sorry, sir. I did not introduce my esteemed colleague, Melissa Olson. She is one of the greatest photographers I have ever.
Well, I'm delighted to meet you. And he kind of gets asks for any names he hasn't gotten yet. I don't believe Caleb's the only one he wouldn't have. Yeah. Well, pleasure to meet you too. Um, if there's trying to think of how to word this. Well, be careful with Elsie. She's got a lot of spunk, but she's a little wild. So be easy on. Well, you see, one day she got in her head that she would make a great reporter. So she rolled up here to my office in her shiny new automobile and demanded her first assignment like it was overdue. You see, the hosiery mill pays for a lot of advertising at my paper. So her dad is a manager there, and so she had me over a barrel, whether she knew it or not. I've been giving her little puff pieces, like the dog show, ice cream social, and all that. The runaway vegetable wagon. But anyway, Elsie covers stuff like that, and I have her covering that sort of stuff until she gets this reporter business out of her blood.
So do you
She's
think that this is a puff piece, or do you not believe that the lights are anything supernatural?
No, it was just a lightweight piece that I wanted to throw into the paper just to take up some room. But
Fair enough.
based on you guys showing up here and them two uh, heavy individuals that showed up here the other day asking questions, I think we might be onto something. Oh, I wasn't here, but they came in and questioned Audrey. I guess it was a couple goons in dark overcoats and fedoras. They came in asking for Elsie's information about the article and Elsie's address. Luckily, some of the boys came up from the printing press downstairs and ran them off before they got too physical with Audrey.
Are these? Do you believe these are the same gentlemen in trench coats that's reported in the article about approaching town?
It very well could be. I didn't think much about it at the time the article came out, but I'm starting to wonder more and more. I wasn't here. Audrey, she didn't. Did you see what which way they went? No, I. She says no. I was frightened out of my mind. I was glad that they left.
How? What is the address for Elsie? You said he gave it to us, but is it far?
It would be. It is on Birch Street, which is on your map about as far south as you can go where that big tee off is.
And what time is it now that we've been talking to him?
I put it at getting after 5 o'clock.
So it'd probably be better to talk to her in the morning. Does Elsie come in each day to report here to the paper, or does she just come in when you have a story?
I usually ring her on the phone when I have a story, or once in a while she just shows up, asking for something to do.
I don't know about you guys. Oh wait, we're still with the dude, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna, if we're all done with talking to him, I'm gonna thank him for his time and let him know that we will be staying at the hotel if he has any more information that he'd like to share with us for our magazine.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
He also says there's come back if there's anything he can do for you.
Okay. So as soon as we're outside, I would like to group up and say, I think that tonight would be an excellent night to go to the marshes to see if we can get a photograph of the lights. Just saying. Because we can't interview anybody else, probably.
No. Nathan, you said it was fall, right? So do we have an idea when it's going to get dark?
Probably getting to be dusk about now. Like it's starting. The sun is setting right now.
The lights were visible well, quote unquote, well after dark. Do we want to head out shortly, or do we want to have a meal?
Yeah, I say we stash our stuff at the hotel, get something to eat, and then go check out the marshes.
Alrighty. So you guys head back over to the hotel and you find Minnie. Where did they find you at, Eric? Never mind. I'm just reading your thing. 1 second. I didn't see that one. Oh, okay. You guys head to the hold on a second here. Okay. Okay. You guys head over to the hotel and you find Minnie in the parlor chatting up a couple of the people that work at the hotel.
Okay, I'll sweep in and just kind of subtly bump into the conversation and say, "Oh, Minnie, darling, do you happen to have our hotel cards? I need to go freshen up."
Cards? What are you talking about? Here's your key.
The key, sorry. Dude, I'm such a millennial. All right.
I mean, I got the business cards for the hotel if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, I must have been having one of my fits, one of my daydreams.
Oh, we all have spells.
My spells, yeah. I just was having one of my spells. Yes, I'm gonna take my key and go up and drop all my junk off at my room, except for what I like to call my spooking kit, which is
Alrighty.
basically just my flashlight and all my junk that's not personal care.
Okay.
I would drop my stuff off. I'd drop my suitcase or handle bag off, but I'd probably keep my briefcase with me with my notepad and my necessary items, my pen light.
Alrighty.
I have just been getting a little taste of the local color here. This sounds like a delightful little town.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll come back down to the dining room when I'm done, though. So
Same here.
Okay. So you guys freshen up, get your stuff squared away up in your rooms, come back down. They have a nice standard meal, tastes very well. Kind of like a home cooked meal type situation. Just a little background information. I forgot to tell you guys the date when we started. The date you received the assignment was October 8th, 1923, which was a Monday. So you guys have a nice dinner. Probably get done with dinner about between 7:30 and 8 o'clock.
What time does the front desk retire?
They would say that they get done at the desk at 8, and then there's like a little like the bell is what you would be someone be aware then that someone needed assistance. Like there's somebody staying in a room close to the front desk.
Okay. So, ladies and gent, what's the plan for this evening?
\W space GM to whisper me or whichever name of the people. The per-
All
I
right.
do-
I don't
well,
think anyone did.
What's that?
I was responding to Eric's text.
Well, I kind of like having the ability to whisper people on here though, rather than that's the one downside of playing like live. Yeah. Were you going to whisper me something, Caleb? Okay. Okay. I
Little
was
do you
just
guys
waiting.
know that I had a whole side adventure that you guys don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's why I kept missing what you guys were saying. I was trying to keep up.
God.
He's gonna end up getting arrested while you're here. You have no idea why.
That's okay.
No, we'll know.
sweetie. I'll pray for you.
Okay, so where are you guys heading then?
I'm gonna get on my spooking gear, meaning my pants, just like a man wearing pants, to go out in the marshes with some boots, and I'm gonna get my my camera and my flash and my extra battery with me.
Okay.
Now, Melissa, dear, do you want one of us to go with you? Should one of us or more than one of us go with you, or would we slow you down?
Oh, I would love it if anybody who wanted to come with me, because I am very terrified of doing this alone.
I will go with. I do not have boots. I have a very proper outfit with pump shoes, but I will still go with. Well, no, I took them out. I was gonna say I had slippers as well, but I took them out.
Oh,
Uh,
Conchetta, is that what you're looking to wear tonight?
This is what I always wear, dear.
That seems a mite impractical. I think in a town that has a good service of hosiery, they probably got something with a little bit more, effective nighttime. I want to take her to find some boots.
At 7 p.m.
Yeah, shopping. You're right. I'm sorry. I just lost track of the time.
I'll make do, dear. It's okay. This is more of a change in wardrobe than I've had in years.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
Is that Laura speaking, or do Melissa and
Sorry,
And
out of character.
Maria.
Sorry about that.
Alrighty. So what direction are you guys heading on the map here?
Well, I saw the marshes kind of stretch around everything, don't they?
Yeah.
It's all along there. So, wherever like the main street from town is, just follow that out to the marshes.
Okay. So basically on the road to Innsmouth, and you guys will get out past the last house or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you might see a light in the distance. It looks like you probably do have one every 3/4 of a mile or so. There may be half a dozen houses on the way to Innsmouth once you get out of town.
So till we get to the salt marshes, I assume we're just walking kind of down the road.
Yeah, once you pass like the last, like there's the one house way at the end of the road. Like once you get right before those other two where that V is, like you can look off to the left and just kind of see the salt marshes off in the distance. And once you get past that last house, there's no real light coming from the town, and you can just kind of see out in the darkness. And the road is not very good at all. Like it would be the dirt road that has a lot of gullies in it.
Does anyone know who owns land out there, or are we just gonna be traipsing through someone's backyard, or what?
It's the country, darling. No one cares.
We know that Douglas Jenkin is one of the property owners out here, one of the neighbors, but I don't know who owns the marsh area itself. It's
Oh, sounds like the
probably
last train's leaving. We're stuck here tonight.
Dick.
Well, as soon as we get to an area that's like nice and dark where we can kind of see over the marsh area, I'm just going to kind of set up camp and sit down and pull out my flask and have a couple of sips and just keep an eye out and my camera up.
Oh, if you
I've
have
got one.
one.
I have a small pen light. I mean, I'm not
I have
probably not.
I have a flashlight.
Okay, so you guys roll out of town here, get past the last house, find a little spot to set up, like there's an old chunk of a wall from an old wall, like just a little section left that you can kind of sit up on and kind of look out over the salt marshes. Or are you guys gonna be like walking around investigating stuff, or are you just kind of waiting to see stuff in the sky? Like, what are you actually looking for? Okay. Okay.
Like the idea of just surveying it to see if we can see any lights over the marsh.
All right.
If I see anything, I'm heading in that direction though.
Okay. So you guys are, well, 1 second. I forgot to do something. So you guys are sitting out there in the dark, and it gets past 9:30, you don't see nothing. 10 o'clock, you don't see nothing. And about 10:15, 10:30, uh, far to the north, about from where you are, probably about a mile away, deep in the salt marshes, you see different colors of light start to dance above the trees.
I'm taking photos. Just snap, snap, snap.
Okay. You guys are gonna start walking through the salt marshes at night? I'm just checking.
Joe, I'm not sure if that's the greatest idea right now. I think we should probably just observe for right now, because if this is happening a lot, we can always come back another night
I'm
once we
making
find
a note.
where that's at.
Yeah, I'm making a note in my sketchbook and I'm sketching out the direction that the lights were in and what they look like.
Okay. You
Yeah,
have
I'm writing down notes in my notebook. What colors I'm seeing, everything.
so
I'm holding the
those
flashlight so they can write their notes.
okay. So you see the few dancing lights above the trees, and off to more to the right, like more northeast of your position, a couple of uh lights go shooting up farther than the ones that are out in the distance and seem to just go streaking off in a direction.
Like fireworks?
Same direction or all different directions?
They seem to go the same direction. There's a couple different colors in there. Like one's like a greenish color and one's a reddish.
Okay. I'll make a note of the directions and Is it Conchetta? What's the sister's name? Conchetta.
My name is I don't know. I've been saying Concetta, but it could be Conchetta. It is
Concetta.
like
Can I
middle.
just call you sister?
Well, if you're gonna do that, my chosen name is Sister Maria. But
Sister Maria.
you can call me that, sweetheart.
All right, that would be wonderful. Sister Maria, do you have any skills in cartography or any mapping skills to where you can tell how far those lights are away from us now?
Don't think so, but let me check.
Okay.
The only thing I could
Sing for you.
the only thing I could think of would be like maybe a navigate or survival.
Otherwise, I also have natural world.
Yeah, oh, it was a failure. What's that? You can give it a shot if you want.
Just trying to make sure that while we're sketching this out, we're trying to keep a bead on how far out it is so we can kind of check it out during the day.
Okay.
Trying to eyeball it too. Ooh.
So, based on your roll, you would guess that the more distant lights that you can see are about a mile and a half into the salt marshes. The ones off to your right more, you would guess are quite a bit closer and more like on the roadway. And the couple little lights that you saw that were farther up the roadway, that's all you saw was just a couple lights go flying and disappear. And then a few minutes later, the dancing lights go away.
Just mark, I'll kind of circle the areas that Joe points out on the map to come back to tomorrow. And as soon as when the lights are gone after a little while, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not planning to stay here all night. I'm gonna go get some rest. What do you think?
Well, I think we saw what came to see here. My question is, did that look like fireworks to you guys, or was that just like a spotlight?
I think there's things in this world that we can't explain, and that light right over there is one of them.
Can't explain yet.
Haha. Yet.
Okay, so as you guys are finishing up your notes and those lights die away, can I get a listen check or a spot hidden check from everybody?
Oh,
And face plant.
Joe, you're
And
just
Joe?
staring off the distance. Like you love like the beauty of this place at night apparently, and you're just caught up in trying to spot these lights. Everybody else, depending on whether it was spot hidden or listen, I didn't see what they all were.
I was listening. The rest.
Okay.
I was
I
spot
was
hidden.
spotting.
So if you listen, Sam, you hear like a motor approaching, and the other two, you kind of see headlights coming down the road going towards town.
From the location that we could estimate the lights were at?
From that direction, yeah.
Pretty duck.
There's a car coming. I duck and hide.
Car.
Okay. Car.
No, I grew up in the country. Car.
Okay. They pull you out of the way too, Joe. And you guys watch as it's kind of hard to tell in the night, but a dark car goes by. If you can give me it wouldn't be a regular success, but you want to give me a spot hidden roll as this thing goes by, you might see something, but it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch plates.
Okay.
I want to see if there's. I want to see who's in the car. I don't care about the plates. Let's see who's in the car.
Because she yelled car.
Yeah. Looking at the license plate, you see that it's covered in mud and can't really get any plate numbers. Am I missing a roll from somebody?
Conchetta.
Roll.
I
Fail.
rolled.
Yeah.
Fail.
That was up. I had to scroll up.
No, I think I'm missing Laura's again.
No, I rolled. I'm above Conchetta. Concetta.
I'm sorry, we've got a Minnie and a Melissa, and I'm not. There's too many M names, I guess. They all look the same to me. Yeah, you can't quite see. There's a couple of dark figures in the front of the vehicle as it goes by.
Can we at least
Big?
get a
Are they,
make
are they
slash model?
gorillas? Are they gorillas? You
Are
know
they
what I mean? Are
gorillas?
they big? Are they big guys?
Yes, they are big guys.
Hmm.
Do we get
I
like
think-
a style of car?
Yes, it would. It's like a dark sedan. It's like a very dark. I'll look in the notes here. They give me a specific one.
I do believe,
can
my
get that.
friend, that those are the two men that were spoken about today. I just saw two gorillas in that car.
Okay, so weird, creepy thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from the lights.
Coming from the lights. Okay.
I was trying to find out if our thugs of question may have been staying at the hotel, but I didn't spot any names that looked awry, or if they were using fake names. I don't.
Well, I say if the coast is clear and the car's gone by, then we should head back to the hotel.
All right.
Agreed.
I would like to shoot my long range tracker under the car as it goes.
Is that in your utility belt?
It's bag.
All right, you guys head back to the hotel without issue. Unless there's nothing else you want to do, you have a nice, restful night.
Just my normal routine. Before I go to bed, I'll say my prayers.
You haven't given up on that yet.
No, I believe in God. I just don't know if I know His purpose for me. And I want that big, deep D.
The devil.
Exactly. I don't want to be a bride of Christ.
It's they're going around in basically a black touring car.
On the way back, I propose to the group here that we might be able to inquire to the local authorities if they have had any reports of a similar vehicle, and if we might be able to track down the whereabouts. That sounds like a great job for Joe. You
Yeah.
were a PI, right? So those are your people. Oh, I believe in you, Joe.
Alrighty. So what's on the agenda for the next day then?
Proper nighttime attire for Miss Conchetta.
So naked. Oh wait, no, that's not. That's Big Minnie is naked.
Yes, I have proper attire.
Well, I wake up a little boozy, so I emptied my flask. I need to fill it at some point in time again.
Okay, you can ask around later if you want to.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. But I can still put myself together, and I'm ready in the morning. I will meet everyone downstairs in the lobby in the morning when they're ready.
All right.
Hey, Conchetta.
So you're
Yeah,
gonna question people on the street, Caleb? Okay.
Yes, I would like to go with Caleb.
I say me and Conchetta go down and see if we can get a little bit more familiar with the area beyond the salt marsh via like a map. If there's like a place where they keep records for land ownership, I possibly found because there should be a matter of public records that this Mr. Fry or whatever has bought a local homestead.
Well, local what?
His local homestead.
Ah.
Yeah,
Alright.
I looked at that map, but would
Like a
there
local
be
town hall might have records.
town hall, or maybe does the church have?
I will escort her in our endeavors.
Are we gonna, the four of us, are we gonna meet up for lunchtime or something, or gonna arrange?
If the hotel folks gave me a good recommendation, Nate,
For what? I'm sorry.
local eateries.
Yeah, there's a couple. It's like a diner, and then one that's a little more upscale.
I'll
Meet at the diner
recommend
for
the local
lunch.
diner.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's meet at the diner for lunch.
Alrighty. So I'm going to go with Eric and Sam's guys first, and then I'll get to you guys wandering around town. Okay.
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 Oh, me too.
So you guys, there's not a lot of like you don't find property per se in town that is okay. You guys are where are you guys actually going?
You know, I know you're probably more familiar with the church scene. I'm probably a little bit more familiar with the town hall. So, which do you prefer to go to?
Depends on what they have. Do they seem to have a city building other than the police station, a town hall, someplace where there'd be a mayor, or
Or any form
is
of
the,
records retention?
yeah, or record retention? Do they have a library? Do they have any place where we would be able to get some sort of land record?
Um, there is a town hall. There is a library in town. I mean, this has got 5,000 people, so there would be a library in town. You can also check the phone directory if you'd like.
Ooh, I'll check the local phone directory while we're at the hotel
Okay, so
before we leave.
you check the phone directory, and it lists two people by the name Fry. One is not like the phone directory is fairly large, so it's actually in like one of the towns that are farther over. And there's one Fry in town. It's listed as a Lawrence Fry.
Hmm. Is there any family or Lawrence Fry? No mention of an Otis, dearie.
Maybe his father, maybe his brother.
Could be a family home. But wouldn't that kind of dispute the whole story? If his
Yeah,
family's been around for a little while?
true. How about we stop by the library for a minute and we see if I can find uh anything about a Lawrence Fry. I'm sure they have back newspaper copies, something.
Yeah. I've heard about that. They got that genealogy, something about the lamps, right?
Most newspapers have some sort of morgue, dear, with back papers. A lot of libraries seem to have copies.
Okay, cutting over to our other two investigators. Caleb, are you back? Okay. Sorry, I figure I'll bounce back and forth because this could take a while. They're gonna do a bunch of research, so I'll bounce back and forth. Um, are you guys just starting out right from the hotel and just flagging people down, or are you guys going to a specific area?
Actually, at some point in time during our journeys, I'd like to stop at Elsie's address too. Yeah.
Okay. So there's not a lot of uh buildings where you could drive a car into and like lock it up. You might find one or two, and you kind of peek around in different windows, and you don't really find anything. Which place were you guys going, Sam? First?
I think she said the library.
Okay, what would you like to look up?
I'd like to look up basically for the Fry,
Okay.
whether newspaper copies, books about history of the town, see if there's been a Fry presence in this town.
Okay, why don't you give me a library use roll?
Yes, sir. No.
You don't find any mention of any fries in any of the
Could-
papers that you look through.
Could I try to push that role by asking the librarian for help?
You could. Let's see. I'm going to say that if you push the roll, you guys are going to take a lot of extra time.
We have a per diem, darling.
I'm gonna push the roll and try.
Okay.
And I wasted time.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm going to cut over to the other group then for a little while.
Okay.
All right. So you guys, we went through, looked around a couple of abandoned buildings, didn't find anything. Which way you guys heading next?
Yeah, let's go to Elsie's house.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So you guys walk around town or walk down through town there down that center main street down to the southern portion. And can I get, as you guys are going down that road down there, can I get a pow roll or a spot hidden? Nice.
A what? A who?
You stop her from walking right off the bridge into the water at one point.
Ah, the majestic views as seen in the daytime.
As you guys are walking along, Caleb, you kind of glance over your shoulder and see quite a ways back the way that you came from that there's a car just kind of parked alongside the road that wasn't there before. Black. Yeah, you see a couple large figures in the front seat.
Is it the goons from before? All right. Where shall we go? Right, I'm going to take photographs like a tourist then. I'm gonna instead of my normal investigatory professionalism, I am just taking really stupid shots like a tourist.
Okay. You guys work your way down the road. Then you take a snapshot. I assume you're trying to get one of behind you once in a while, where you kind of get the car in the frame.
Yes, I would like to see if I can, you know, maybe pull a 20s version of a selfie and see if I can get a couple angles in there.
All right. Why don't you give me a art photography then to see if that's a little abnormal shot. So
Oh my,
yeah,
no.
there
So
seems
she
to be
selfied her thumb.
there seems to be a malfunction with your camera of some kind. You may have to work on that later.
No. Okay.
So no more pictures until that's fixed.
Okay.
But you guys work your way down the road. You get to the T. You go left or right, and then walk back towards them. Okay.
Yeah,
You do
let's do it. Yeah.
you do that. You kind of wheel around, kind of smiling like you guys are just taking a walk, and go right back that way. After a little ways of approaching the vehicle, because it had pulled up to the other side of the bridge, it turns around the road and drives away. Oh no, it was far too far away. It was like farther away than it was last night. So
Are we now that it's driven away? Are we close to Elsie's or are we far away?
yeah, you can see that the car takes a right when it gets down to that four-way and drives away. All right,
Okay, when we get to her address, I'll just walk up and knock on the door.
all right. Can I give you each make a luck roll, please? Actually, how about yeah, you just make the. Well, I guess both of you made it. So all right. The door is answered by a beautiful young woman in her early 20s, blonde hair, height, cheekbones. Um, can I help? Or are you? She kind of looks you guys over and sees like you're uh she sees your character Caleb and is like, "Are you guys here for my father? Did my father hire you? Is he worried about me?"
No, we're here on other business. We're actually looking for Elsie. Is that you?
Yes, it is. What can I do for you?
We actually heard that you performed an interview with a gentleman who had seen some strange things here in town, and we wanted to ask you more questions about it. Do you mind if we come in?
Sure, I would love to help another member of the Fourth Estate.
Okay.
I see something going on in the chat boxes that I'm just going to ignore. She takes you to a little side parlor. Asks if she can get you anything.
Yes, a cup of tea would be lovely, actually.
All right. She rings a bell and a servant comes in and she tells them to fetch the things that you guys want. So, what questions could I ask, or could I? What questions could I answer for you guys?
Well, you were doing the work with this Fry fellow here in town, weren't you?
Oh yes, that's the one of my best stories, I think.
Yes, it's quite intriguing. It's actually what drew us into town, and I pull out my business card and hand it to her. We're from Strange But True. It's a little magazine. I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but we are well known in our circles.
Oh, fantastic! It's a pleasure to meet you both.
So we just like to know, the those articles. They're so short. You don't really get all the details in there. I'd just like to know more about this individual that you've been interviewing. Um, what's he like in person?
Well, I only interviewed him the one time, and he's definitely a strange fellow. But once I got to know him, he is very friendly. He's not the best looker, if you know what I. He comes to town every few days. It seems like to get more quote unquote supplies for his trans Neptunian telephonic thingy.
So does he live in the area here then?
Yes, he does.
Like outside of town?
Could I get a persuade roll from somebody? And it's going to have to be a hard success.
Hang on. Uh-oh. I see red.
Okay. She's like, I don't know you that well, and I really don't feel comfortable giving out his address.
Oh, I totally understand.
Well, I didn't. I know where his mother lives. I don't know that he is staying there because every time I've seen him, he's gone off into the salt marshes.
Interesting. Now, when you say he went into the salt marshes, is there a certain direction that he added or that he went in? Because I noticed that they're quite large.
I don't know. I know it's north of town. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more, but when I s-
Oh no, sir, you seem lovely.
when I interviewed him, you see, I had heard that there was a strange little man coming into town, buying things with these, well, like the article said, the gold coins, and so, but I couldn't find any trace of him. So I left word with all of the different shops in town that when they saw him to give me a call, and that's how I ended up finding him. I caught him outside of the hardware store when he was coming out with a bunch of little bric-a-brac type stuff.
Now, it did say in the article that he wasn't the only one in the area that had seen or had been experiencing something strange. Is it everyone else? Do they just see the lights that they've mentioned, or is there anything else going on?
Well, I know that the folks at the edge of town that's on the road to Innsmouth, uh, there's been a few of them that have seen the lights, and I think I've spoken to somebody outside of town as well that has seen it. But I know that Douglas Jenkin, he's the last house like in town. I know that he said he saw a spaceman.
Really? I take note of
Um,
his name so I can remember it later in my little notebook.
okay. I'm sorry, Moon Man in quotes. It's not spaceman. It's Moon Man. Just so you know.
And just one more question for you, dear. Is there anything else that was not in the article that you think might be important for us to know or that you might have left out?
Um. Well, just one second. She gets up and leaves the room for a moment and comes back. Takes out a piece of cloth and unwraps it and lays it on the table. And I bought this from Old Man Gore, and she lays one of the coins down on the table.
Really? Can I sketch it real quick? I'm just
Sure.
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna ask her, is it okay if I see the other side of the coin? Can I touch it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I pick it up and examine it.
Okay. It's a very shiny gold alloy. Uh, the coin features a strange jellyfish shape on the obverse side, surrounded by circling sharks or porpoises. It's hard to tell. Uh, Interspaced with some unknown script of some kind. The reverse side of it uh, has what appears to be a pillared structure of some kind, draped in flowing bands of ribbons or seaweed.
I'm gonna try and sketch out both sides of it in my notebook because I'm gonna show it to Minnie later.
Are you drawing a sketch or are you doing like a rubbing?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do a rubbing. Yeah.
Alrighty. Um, did you have anything else to add? Yeah, it feels like you've kind of held a couple different gold coins, and it feels like it should be like feels like it should.
And I'm gonna thank her for sharing that experience with us because that's very interesting. I've never seen a coin like that before.
No, I haven't found anybody that's seen anything like this either.
Are the, I mean, do you believe in moon men, Elsie?
No, it's just strange stories of people seeing stuff, human mind playing tricks on them and such.
Well, yeah, of course. I agree too. So where do you think maybe a coin like this could have come from?
I don't know. That's beyond me. History was never my strong suit.
Oh, mine either, darling. Um, I'm sorry. Joe, do you have any further questions for Elsie? All right. Well, oh, go ahead.
I own a red roadster actually. Do you want to see it? She very proudly takes you out to the garage and shows you her car. It's very. It looks like she's cleans it quite often, or has it cleaned. I should.
I make the appropriate oohs and ahs.
Okay, it's a little two-seater roadster.
Well, Miss Elsie, will you, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Not overly, no. It's a very nice car. Yep.
So I'll thank her for her time. Make sure that she knows on the back of my card. I wrote my hotel number on the back of the card. Said that if she thinks of anything else that she'd like to let us know, feel free to reach out to the number on the card.
Alrighty. It's been a pleasure meeting you both.
And you as well. And then I'm gonna head toward the diner next
Okay. So
to
yeah, we're
meet up
probably
with
getting
them.
about lunchtime.
Yep.
Um. Okay. Selling the coin. Oh, not really. This is a a good memory for me. This is one of my best stories. I really wouldn't be interested in selling it. You can try to persuade her if you'd like to, but it's probably going to be difficult. Are you like offering money for it? Oh, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's not interested. Yep. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, folks. All right. Back over to whatever's going on in the chat window. Um.
Nothing. He's doing all sorts of stuff. I'm not having a part of it.
Okay.
I am legitimately trying to figure out if these alleged gold coins are some kind of sunken pirate treasure from the bay that this loon has just managed to just.
Okay.
And I figured that my push and everything had gotten to the point where I had no extra time to look for anything.
Correct. I get see you guys to about lunchtime, so you guys can head over to the diner and meet up with the rest of the group.
Yeah, I'll pull Conchetta's nose back out of books that lead her absolutely nowhere with a resigned sigh after like the third hour.
Alrighty.
All right. As soon as they're at the diner, I want to show Minnie the rubbings of the coin.
All right.
Oh, I knew it had to be some pirate's treasure. Look at all the squiddlies there.
No, I've never seen a coin like this before. I mean, I'm no expert, but I don't know anywhere that has a coin like this.
And there is nothing in the library that says anything like that. Believe you me, I looked and looked.
I'm going to show it to Sister Maria as well.
Okay.
I looked and looked for the Fry name at the library. Didn't come up with anything. There's a lot of interesting stories around this town, but nothing for what we're looking for. However, in the phone book, in the phone directory, we found one Fry in town, a Lawrence. Don't know if it's a relation or something.
Well, and we found out that there is a guy that lives right down at the end of town who says that he's seen a moon man.
Dear, are you talking about Mr. Jensen? Because that's what Mr. Gore told us.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Mr. Jenkins, Douglas Jenkins. Yeah, but you found out exactly where he lives. That would be helpful.
Yeah, Elsie pointed out where he lives, so we now can go and speak with him if we want to.
That sounds like a wonderful afternoon activity.
Okay. Do we want to see if we can get? Yeah. Do we wanna go that way.
Nathan, I assume that we took the address of Lawrence Fry when we looked at the directory. I don't think we said that, but I hope that was a sin.
Yes.
We have a new page if we didn't.
True. But I would want to see if that is on the way to Mr. Jenkins or if they're near, because that might be another address we might want to look into.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you give me a luck roll, please? Just one from Sam.
Why from me?
Because you're the one that said it. I need one luck roll from somebody in the group. I don't care who. Just say who's going to roll it first.
Hey, the only time I'm going to ever succeed on the luck roll.
Hard
Yes.
success.
That house is on the way.
Okay, cool. So we can hit both.
Yep.
Oh, now you're talking my language there.
What language is that, dear?
You said we're going to hit some houses.
I promise I'll light a candle for you, sweetie.
All right. So you guys stop by the address for that Lawrence Fry's house on the way to the edge of town. You guys head up and knock on the door.
Sure. Yeah, I'll walk up and knock on the door.
I would come forward with Melissa.
What's his name, really quick?
Lawrence Fry.
Lawrence Fry. Okay.
We don't know if he's related to Otis or not, but it's the only Fry in the phone book in this.
Why don't you take the lead on this one?
Okay, dear.
Okay.
I will knock, and I will make sure that my crucifix is prominently on the outside of my.
All right. After a moment, after you knock, the door opens and like a little boy answers. Can I help you?
Hi, we're looking for Mr. Lawrence Fry. Is he here?
No, he's not. Mom, come! There's someone at the door. And a moment later, a woman comes to the door. Yes, can I help you?
Hi, we were looking for Mr. Fry. We're in town here, covering a story, and we were trying to contact any Frys in town about it. Are you in any way related to Mr. Otis Fry?
That strange man from the newspaper?
I know it's probably a long shot. We just noticed a similarity in names and wanted to see if maybe there was any relation.
No, not that I'm aware of. Obviously, I married into the name, and my husband maybe could answer better, but he's at work. He works for the railroad. Um, I don't believe that we're related to this Otis. The only other Fry I know of is I heard there's a Hannah Fry living like on the road to Innsmouth, quite a ways down the road.
Nathan, would that have been the other name listed in the phone book that we?
No, that was a Michael Fry.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm so sorry to have disturbed you. And I kind of give a look to Melissa to see if she feels the need to interject any.
Um, Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, we're so sorry to disturb you, and have a wonderful day. We'll check out this Hannah.
And I'm gonna, be very polite and then walk.
Alrighty.
Joe and I were just having a whispered conversation, respectfully far away from the entrance of the facility.
What was that? Yes, we would tell the two. Well, we would tell them that this woman doesn't believe in any relation to Otis. That Lawrence works at the railroad, and tell them the information about this Hannah Fry that lives somewhere on the road to Innsmouth.
Oh, it was worth checking out. On to the next house.
And now we're going to Mr. Jenkins, right? Which, looking at the map, is that also kind of on the road on the way to Innsmouth?
Yes. Yeah, the salt marshes and Innsmouth. Yeah, she's supposedly on that road somewhere. And okay. Okay. So you guys head over to Douglas Jenkins' house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Farmer Bob. What's his name? Jenkins.
Douglas Jenkins.
Thank you.
That's okay, as always. I'm the one that takes the note.
Okay.
Yeah, Melissa, it's a good thing you take the pictures, but because as far as writing stuff down, I don't know, honey.
And what's your specialty again, my dear?
To be determined, love.
By the
All
way,
right.
while we're walking, can I fuss with my camera?
Why, sure. Do you have like a repair? Hold on, let me see what kind of skills we got here.
I have mechanical repair.
Yep, it'd be that.
Is that something I can assist? Or never.
There you go. You just had a little jam up with your film.
Okay, good. So I can take pictures again?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And make sure you're checking those boxes.
Yep.
So you guys work your way over to Douglas Jenkins' house. It just so happens that as you guys walk up, he seems to be walking out of his house and starts heading towards town. Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm on my way to work. Could we walk and talk?
Hi, reporter, strange but true. Yeah, we'd be happy to accompany you.
All right. What kind of questions could I ask or could I answer for you?
We're here on a story about Mr. Otis Fry and the strange lights that have been seen in the sky recently near the salt marshes. We heard
Have
that
you
you might
personally
have.
witnessed this? I'm just totally right over her.
Well, I haven't witnessed the lights, but I did see a moon man a while back.
Could you describe the Moon Man?
He yeah, he was about 3 feet tall, grayish, standing on two legs with enormous black saucer-like eyes. Had no nose, ears, or hair that I could see.
I see.
And where exactly did you see this moon man at?
Um, Back down the road there, coming out of town, I was on my way back home from work and got in a flat tire, and when I was pulling back onto the road, my lights flashed across it.
And how long ago was this?
Oh, I guess over 2 weeks ago now, but before the article came out, because I told Miss Carlisle about it.
Have you heard of anybody else personally that has seen one of the moon men?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm assuming somebody has. If that Fry fellow, he does seem like the genuine article to me. I'm sure he's gonna see something soon if he hasn't already.
We heard there might be a Hannah Fry that lives in this area, somewhere on the road here to Innsmouth. Do you know a Hannah Fry? Do you know where she?
I don't know specifically. I think she lives up this road here, though. I'm sorry, guys. I guess after he did see the Moon Man, um, after he saw it, he did see a glowing red ball of light shoot into the sky out over the marsh. So he did see the light once, but he was just like one light.
Do we have our little map that he might be able to guess about where it's at?
Yeah, it's not very far down from his house. Like he wasn't very far from home when it happened.
I would try to notate in a different like color to indicate other potential sites.
Okay.
That's all the questions I had for him.
Okay.
Does he have a lot of neighbors on the road this way, so that he could maybe tell us which houses are definitely not Hannah?
Not that far out. He knows the people right before his house, but not the ones that are out in the country.
And do you know, since you've heard of Otis, do you know where he lives?
No, I don't, sir.
That covers all my questions. I would thank him for.
I say if we're already down here, we check out the salt marshes.
I don't see anything, Caleb. Or at least anything from you. Um, what would you say, Laura?
Oh, I was just saying after he leaves for work, I suggest that if we're already down on this end of town, um, the salt marshes are close, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just right outside of town.
Okay. So I say we go and see what there is to be seen while it's light out.
Sounds
Okay.
like a safer choice than at nighttime.
I agree.
So which sighting should we look for first there, dearie? Should we try this one that we haven't seen yet, or one of the other spots from the
Well, since the spots from last night are the freshest, I say we go and look to see where that came from.
All right. So you guys are walking down the road to Innsmouth, seeing what you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking for like stuff along the road going in and out of the marsh? Are you just stopping at houses and seeing if you can see who lives?
I think we should probably try and travel about how far where we thought we might have seen it, and then once we get along the road that distance, maybe we can cut out into the
Yeah, a little bit.
as long as it doesn't get too soggy. I mean, these knickers are okay for just going light, but not too.
Okay. So you guys travel up the road uh 10, 15 minutes, get to the point where you think you're pretty sure that the lights came from. Why don't you give me spot hidden rolls for the area? Like you all spread out and start looking for stuff. Look at them roll in. There's a fairly obvious set of like where a vehicle pulled over along the road into like the mud. So you find that, and let's see here. You find traces of kind of a shiny substance on the ground, uh, like a little bit of like a green shiny substance, like it's spread on the grass in one spot, and like a blue substance on another. No, like a phosphorescence, like almost like not an algae, but
You
what's the
say
word I'm looking
substance,
for?
you thinking powder, a gel?
Does anybody have anything we can take a sample with, like a small vial or a?
I'm sorry, like it looks like a fungus, actually.
I'd like to take a sample of it.
Okay.
Oh, and I want to get down real close to it and photograph it.
Hey,
Okay.
Melissa, do you have one of like your empty little film?
Yeah, what is yeah, what do I have an empty film container or something I can put some of this stuff in?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to take a little sample and get lots of photos of it.
Okay. It's not overly bright, but it definitely has that hue to it. Like you can tell that there was something there.
Melissa, can I see that bottle real quick when you're done?
I hand it over.
I would try to find like a slightly more shaded area. Joe, do you have a jacket? Does Joe have like a jacket on or something? Can I borrow your jacket there, Joe? Head over there. I'm gonna like take the jacket, kind of like put it over my head, pull the container inside, like trying to make that little, It's like a little dark area. I want to see if it glows in the dark.
Yeah, it does.
Interesting.
Can I get some kind of natural? What was that, Caleb? Oh, probably a little over half a mile.
I peek into her little experiment there and use chemistry to see if I can tell that it's like phosphorescence.
Yeah, if anybody's got like the chemistry will probably work. Natural world, something like that. Oh my god.
Nope. Good job, Laura.
So with that,
Sorry. Oh, Derry, it's not that bad.
the you figure that you figure out that it's a fungus, and that y- it probably is not going to glow for much longer. It looks like it's getting that you're guessing that when it was first exposed to air, it was brighter, and it's been getting less and less bright all day.
Okay. I mean, obviously, I share that with everyone. But
So what you're
I tuck
saying, Melissa, is
the
there's some
sample
kind
away
of
in my bag.
exploding mushrooms that light up the sky.
Is it any weirder than a moon man?
Are the floating mushrooms the moon man?
All good questions.
Do you know? Does anybody know if these mushrooms have like hallucinogenic properties, or should Joe? Do you want to just try a sample here real quick in the name of science?
Lick
No,
it, Minnie, and find out.
Space mushrooms.
I'm the idea generator. You are a doer. Big strong man like yourself. I'm sure you could take it.
Yeah, this is getting more and more offensive.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I agree. Well,
So what are we gonna do? We have this fungus, and are we gonna keep exploring the marsh? We're gonna go in further. Well,
It is probably at least 2 o'clock.
we already had lunch, didn't we?
Yeah, you just had lunch like an hour and a half ago.
And do
Alright.
what, Derry?
Are we not gonna try to find Miss Hannah Fry? I mean, she's apparently just up this road.
You've probably passed like one, maybe two. Okay. All right.
down with that idea.
Better to try to talk to her in daylight than, you know.
All right. You guys head up the road here. We will deal with that in a minute. The next house up the road is like a 17th century salt box style farmhouse that has not handling the last 200 years very well. Are you gonna go knock on the door?
Sister, would you like to go introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I'll go up to the door. I hope someone's coming with.
I'll go with her. I'll flash
go-
my most charming smile.
I'll go up and knock. If the other two don't want to come up with, I would hope they would not stay too far.
Okay, so you go up and knock on the door. Um, Shortly after that, a middle-aged woman of average build answers the door. She's wearing a pleated house dress and sensible low-heeled shoes. Just her hair in a nice, neat bun. She kind of smiles and, uh, can I help?
Yes, we're not sure if we've had the right house. We're looking for Miss Hannah.
Well, I'm Hannah.
Oh well, God praise, lucky us. We found the right house eventually. Hi Miss Fry. Uh, we're reporters in town in Ipswich, and we were looking for family of Mr. Otis Fry, and someone mentioned that maybe you might be related to or know Mr. Otis Fry.
Well, yes, that's my son.
Well, that is just wonderful. Would you be willing to talk to us for a while about?
Absolutely. Would you like to come in for some tea and cookies?
I would be delighted to. May my associates come with me? And at this point, I kind of wave Minnie and Joe up toward us.
Oh, absolutely. I'll see how many cookies I have, and she kind of waves you in.
Oh, come on up after she waved us forward.
All right, you enter a small farmhouse, very plain. It looks like it's pretty clean. She keeps it fairly straight. Kind of grimy windows, like they just by age, not by cleanliness. Um, Lots of framed pictures on the walls, and she starts busying herself making a pot of tea, and she gets down a tin of Oreo cookies and puts them on the table.
I gingerly take one and nibble on it.
Okay.
I smile my most charming smile and tell her that she has a lovely home.
Why, thank you, dear. You're so sweet to say. What was that, Caleb?
I mean, maybe. Why do you ask? We're gonna go check. You mean wake her up?
Okay.
So she's just busying herself, making tea for us.
Okay, just kind of fair warning. Apparently, I can see everybody's whispers to everybody else. I didn't know that.
You're the GM. Should be able to see that type of stuff.
Well, I know, but I thought you guys could like secretly plan against me.
I mean, if that's an option,
Well, with you in the group, I thought it was a necessity.
I
But
know.
just so you're aware, whatever you guys are talking about, I can see it too. What was that, Sam?
So is she busying us with tea?
Yeah, she's kind of she'll make small talk while you're she's making tea. She's boiling water right now.
So how long have you lived here, man? As my friend here said, this is a beautiful.
I've lived here most of my life. I think my family actually may have lived here all of our lives. I think they moved here from Innsmouth back in the mid 1800s. I think.
Son, Miss Hannah, does your son live here in town?
Well, he lives here most of the time. He doesn't come back every night, so I don't know where he goes. He spends a lot of time out in the salt marshes,
Oh, and what is he doing out there?
working on his science experiments. I'm so proud of him.
Oh, is
What
he a
kind of
scientist?
He's a very smart boy.
what kind of science projects does he do?
Why, sure. And she points out a door across the way. Um, you head over that way, and well, he has all kinds of interests in space and that kind of thing. You open the door to his room, Caleb, and it's let me find the right page.
Sanity check.
Wahaha. There's like piles of pulp magazines and popular science magazines all around the. Just based on the cursory glance, you can see he's obsessed with space, planets, outer worldly visitors, that kind of thing. Spaceship adventures. Yeah.
So Miss Fry, there was a little article put out by your local periodical that mentioned that he has some kind of gold coins that we've been kind of taking a look at. Did he find like a pirate treasure? That's what I kind of like about reading. It's near the bay and what.
No, I don't. The gold coins. She seems a bit distressed at that.
Did she seem to pause at that?
Yeah.
Can I do a psychology roll?
Just 1 second.
Of course.
She seems a bit disturbed. Like, well, she says, "Could you excuse me for?" And she disappears into another side room. What you could assume is probably her room. Then a moment later, she comes back and goes back to work on the tea.
Is there anything wrong, man?
I didn't want
Oh,
to say anything to disturb you.
Oh, it just looks like Otis took the the gift I was given by his father. Oh, it's just the dowry. It's the money he gave me when we got married.
Oh, dearie.
Can I get spot hidden rolls from everybody in the room, please? I'll take your roll that you had there, Caleb, for your. Okay, so Sam, you're concentrate on dealing with Hannah. Everybody else is looking around. Um, Joe, you are like you're done in the room and you close the door and you kind of looking at the pictures that are on the wall. You know, some of them have like a young married couple with a boy, and then you see like pictures of a young man. The uh, Minnie, you're looking around and you see one of the pictures is of uh, a silent film star, Rudolph Valentino, and uh, Melissa, you look over on the mantle to just the side of where Hannah is making the tea, and there's a picture of Woodrow Wilson and his wife and daughter.
Okay.
Miss Fry, I got another question for you. We've heard tell that there have been some potentially unsavory characters around here lately, and we just want to make sure for your safety that no, have you seen anybody out and about that you might describe as a little off-putting, perhaps overly sized, or not of the standard complexion?
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, that is excellent. Glad to hear.
Associates? Well, Gilbert's away on business. He doesn't get to come home much.
Gilbert, is that your husband?
Yes, it is. And she reaches over to the mantle and takes down the picture. That's my Gilbert. Such a handsome man. And our son Otivus, of course. She kind of strokes at the picture. Oh, I don't have a car. Okay, now I can get a psychology roll, please.
I'm assuming she picked up the picture of the silent movie star.
No, it was actually Woodrow Wilson.
Oh,
I succeeded.
Sam, she's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
From what you can gather, seeing the pictures and her reaction, none of these pictures show the same person twice.
That
be it of
that-
note, I have not eaten any of the cookies nor drank any of the tea.
yeah, but you licked the space mushroom.
There's no proof of that yet.
I look nicely at the photo that she's holding and say, "Oh, that is a handsome photograph."
Why, thank you.
Well, what does Gilbert do?
Oh, he spends a lot of his time at sea, um, working on ships and such. Oh no, oh no, no, not that I'm aware of. She sits down and starts drinking some tea and eating the cookies.
So please tell me more about Otis. I can tell that you're very proud of him. He must be a wonderful boy. You said he does science. What does he do? I don't have a scientific mind myself.
Okay. She goes into like the space stuff he's been working on. Um, Caleb, you go to the door and open it, and you are surprised to see someone standing right outside the door as they were going to open the door. It's a hulking figure, pale skin, uh, large eyes, and a kind of a big mouth. Not dressed in black, but dressed in like a tattered suit, kind of like what you're kind of wearing, but like bigger. And he looks at you, and you look at him in kind of a startled fashion, not expecting you to open the door. And that's where we're going to end it for the night. Unless,
Just when there was doings transpiring.
well, we're not going to be
Okay.
able to finish this tonight, and I figured it would a good spot to stop here.
On the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
May I help you, sir? I want that to be our opening line next time.
That's Caleb's opening line. That's what we're going
Yep.
with.
Yep.
All right.
Prepare for the laser beam shootout. Pew, pew, pew.
I've got a 22.
More than I got. I hope Miss Fry's packing heat in the household. So
I have a rosary, a Bible, and a hymn.
So she's got a sword and shield. The other two are packing guns, and I have my rapier. Great.
I'm glad to see you finally settled on an imaginary accent, Eric.
Kind of.
Hey. Again,
He's consistent now. He's just not any real accent that exists in this world.
You're right. You're right.
why heathens don't understand what happens when you blend dialects from a multi-ethnic background. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I hope everyone had fun, and I'm going to set up the next game for the same time next weekend.
Okay, so I don't have to do anything to my character sheet. I can just leave it alone, right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
I only had one skill that's got a dot.
That's what I'm looking at right now. Well, no, you only have one.
Yeah, I did not. I'm looking through the list here. I didn't have any other successful skill usage.
That
Four.
sounds about right.
I had four.
Good.
All right. Well, thanks for including me. This was fun. I'm looking forward to the next one.
This was fun,
Good.
and it was great to hear from you, Laura.
Yeah, it's been too long since we've played together. Like, this is actually a really good opportunity for me.
I don't think I've ever actually had the pleasure of playing with you. Just hearing about how great it is.
Oh, well, thank you. I really enjoyed playing with you tonight, Sam. I like your attitude. I like your approach.
Thank you, dear.
All right, well, I'm going to sign off and see what Jake's doing. You guys have a good rest of your night.
Have a
Yep,
good
you
one.
too.
You too.
Yep. Bye.
So Nate, was this actually supposed to be like a one-night shot designed for a two-night, or is this like a bigger piece here?
Well, the other ones we did were designed to be ran in like one session in like an hour, hour and a half. This is an actual more the length of a scenario.
Okay, I just didn't know what kind of pace I should set for myself
Nope,
here for
you
that.
you guys are on whatever pace you want it to be. This is can be. You don't got to run to the end of this.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to do like the video game approach. Okay, here's our mission. Let's go do this, or like if we could take our
Nope, you guys are doing fine.
One of the best parts about Call of Cthulhu is that you get to role play a little bit.
And Nate, just so you know, while in all of that, my biggest point on the side was I actually looked up the history of Oreos, and they were made in 1912, so that is perfectly in line for art.
I know. I looked it up myself.
I was like, wait.
I went and because it says she serves like like packaged cookies, like store bought. So I just kind of looking for like early 1900s cookies, and it says Oreos. Ah, fuck it.
That's why I was like, no, they couldn't. I'll be damned. Those are some old ass cookies. They were properly timelined. Don't trust them.
I seen him jump into the channel earlier.
If I recall correctly, Hunter.
Druid.
Oh, that Jay. Okay, I was thinking the other one.
Well, I hope everybody had fun. I did. So it's you guys do a lot of role play, so it takes some of the pressure off of me keeping the plot going. So. Oh my god.
They've already won.
No, they basically got to the same point you did. But oh my god, they don't ask a lot of questions. They just kind of move on. Like I don't know if they're expecting just like a big info dump from me, but if they don't ask it, I don't answer it. What's that? Well, Travis is Travis does pretty good. Carrie did a lot of a majority of the role playing last night, but Bree doesn't say a word. She's playing the
she's a number.
yeah. She just kind of like yeah, like she'll answer if I ask her something, but and I hear her talking in the background of Opie's microphone more than I hear on like she's discussing stuff with him, not putting it out into the game, but they're like talking.
They're metagaming those assholes.
Well, Bree is just a little more quiet.
Yeah,
And you just got to flop it out in there on the table like I do, and just roll with it. See what happens.
We don't need it flopped out on the table.
I was hoping to. I was hoping to have some kind of hallucination off of that, Nate.
I was actually when he opened the door, I was going to be typing. Your stomach starts to gurgle quite a bit.
And I was actually going to try and excuse myself over to the ladies' restroom to powder my nose to try and use an excuse to search the house, but that happened. That's too late.
Uh, Powder your nose is going to be the outhouse out back. So nope, there's nothing you guys got to do to your character sheets now. It'll save everything, and it'll be in the same spot when we play next week. Is Nicole listening to us play, Caleb? Okay.
Mhm. Well, like I said, she's probably long since asleep, but you know. Oh, oh, baby don't like jalapenos. No, no, no spicy caliente
Do you, do you have any ginger ale in the house?
or Sprite at least or something.
Yep. Sometimes smelling and sipping lemon juice would settle my tongue. That little bit of acid pop. Or if you dilute it, she could sip a little bit.
If she can't handle the vinegar, you can actually blend it with a little bit of honey to soften it too, and that'll also add as an extra coating.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna log off.
All right, there, Nate.
Later.
Night, night, boys.
Night, Sam. They did. They just jumped ship on us. Yeah, the thing that gets our wee one to kick in is apparently sugar. Oh yeah, just about anything that's sweet that Kim takes in, baby's like, woo! Oh yeah, she's doing fine. Nothing to speak. Even like she was getting like sick all the time, and I haven't honestly even heard Kim like throw up once. hmm I've been taking Alex into daycare a bit more since Kim has been on like a weird, basically on call schedule at the hospital. Hey, you're cutting in and out. All right, I'm probably gonna go pop upstairs, watch a couple episodes of something, and then conk out for work tomorrow. Later.